Good evening and welcome to the final game of the evening, round 4, game 3 of the CCM National Women's Hockey Tournament here at iceHQ in the Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Wurundjeri traditional land. We are watching the final game of the regular rounds between the West Australian Ice Quokkas in the black and yellow and white, the traditional West Australian Bumblebee jersey, and the Melbourne Furies in the dark blue with the golden sleeves. The Furies haven't won a game yet. They'd be pretty keen to win one tonight. But the Ice Quokkas have something a little bit more in stake. They want to win this one because if they do, they bring themselves up into second place on the ladder, which means they have a good chance of playing the Flaming Galahs in their semi-final tomorrow. If they lose today, they finish 4th on the ladder and they have to play the Melbourne Reds. And they would rather play probably the Galahs than the Reds at a guess. Not that I can be 100% sure of that. For the Furies, they haven't won a game. If they win this, they get some pride. But it won't change where they sit on the ladder. With 3 games, they have no points. The most points they can finish with is 2. But the Ice Quokkas currently with 4 points on the ladder. If they win this, they go up to 2nd place on the ladder, which will then push the Flaming Galahs down to 3rd, the Stingrays to 4th, and it will give them a 2v3 final, whereas at the moment they're a 1v4 final against the Melbourne Reds. To give themselves the best chance of getting through to the grand final round, they would probably like to win this game if they can. On paper, you'd have to say they're more likely to win, but this is now their 4th game in 24 hours. That is a huge ask for any hockey team, and these games have been played at a very high intensity and have been, every single one of them has been a thriller. So we're going to see how Sam Hockey pulls up for the Furies, and also Madeline Smith, who for the Ice Quokkas has done a great job in net for them. But you can imagine the fatigue on the players. The goalies never get a rest. They're out there for 45, 50 minutes, and they don't get a rest at all. So the South Australian team had the luxury of 2 goalies, but everyone else just the one. As we get underway now, the puck about to be dropped and won by the Furies. What can the West Australian Quokkas do this time? Get a nice shot on the net. Sam deflects it wide. It's that early slick ice that catches a lot of them out. It's just had the cut 10 minutes ago, and so the ice very slick indeed. Pass up to the slot, bounces off everything. And West Australia looking to set up a player in the slot. Debbie Bowles, however, indeed doing a good job of cleaning it up. She dumps the puck up the net and the Furies break it out, but it's back in. Debbie Bowles again dumping the puck up. Her experience, a big part of the success of this team for the Furies, is a stabilising influence. But now they've had a change while the rush is going on, but fortunately the Furies managed to get back in numbers in time. They still need to mark those players who are loose in the slot a lot. They were a little bit vulnerable to that in the last game. So they've got to be very mindful of loose players floating around in front of the goaltender. And they've got to get in their face. You can't sit 3 metres away from that player. You've got to be lifting your stick up off the ice, grabbing them by the shorts, moving them around, and just generally being a nuisance. And we will have icing. West Australian team with a chance now for a set play. Face off won nicely by the West Australian centre in Jenna Mitchell. It just sort of bobbles out through the neutral zone, and now Mitchell picks it up again, and she's got a chance to make a pass across to get the shot. She takes a little backhanded shot but flares on it and doesn't go anywhere near the net. So Sam Hockey not challenged by that one. Shot in from the point, but cleared out by the Furies D, and the puck leaves the zone, so all of the West Australians offside. They've got to get out in a hurry. The puck goes across to Scene. She was very effective in the first game on, it feels like forever, but yesterday afternoon. Let's see if she can find some of that vigour that she had in that game. The puck goes in deep, and it's an icing for the Quokkas, who will get a chance now for another face-off in the offensive zone for them. The Melbourne Furies having to go all the way back. If you're not familiar with the icing rule, if you play the puck from your own half, so behind the red line in the middle of the rink, and no one touches it and it crosses the goal line at the other end, the puck is brought back for a face-off at your end. And that's what's called, it's a rule known as hybrid icing. The idea is to prevent a defending team from just flinging the puck down the other end every chance they get and running the clock down. Keeps them under pressure, which rewards the attacking team. It's hard to score goals in hockey, so an attacking team getting a reward is a good thing. That's the rationale behind the rule anyway. And West Australians bring it around behind the net. Risky cross-ice pass is not picked off though. And the Furies all offside. They can't go and touch that puck until they're all out. Now they can go in. And a bit of a wall of blue. They put the puck back into the zone, but it's just kind of bobbling around. Bit indistinct. Pass across to Steele. And Steele and Bales have to race into the corner to get it. Bales not quite aware of the forecheck on her, but it's going to be an icing anyway. And this time the icing at the other end of the rink. Now, the nice thing about an icing, even if you're not super keen on having to go way back down the other end, is it does slow the clock down. And at this stage, it is 10 past 10 p.m. here in Melbourne. If you're watching this interstate, whatever your time zone conversions are, if you're watching from Perth, you are 3 hours behind. For you, it's only 10 past 7. But for us, it's 10 past 10. It's a long day. And you ladies are pretty tired. They can ice it. Okay, they get a defensive zone face-off. But defensive zone face-off is also an opportunity in many ways. You can make some plays out of it. But more to the point, you get 30 seconds of rest. And if you're really tired, that 30 seconds of rest is pretty nice. Behind the net for West Australia. For the Quokkas, they get a shot in from the high blue line. Not able to make it all the way through the net. There's a wall of blue. And now Stella from the Furies manages to take it into the corner for them. She's looking for a pass across or up to her D, but no such luck. She gets dispossessed. Puck comes out. And looking for a cross-ice pass from the Furies D. It's always a little bit risky, cross-ice pass. I do like the D-to-D pass, but if you don't do it well, it can end up pretty badly. As the puck bobbles around backwards and forwards through the neutral zone. If you are interested in the players' names, the Melbourne Furies have elected to put nicknames on the back of all of their jerseys. And I can tell you from a commentary position, that makes life tremendously difficult. It's hard enough trying to match names to numbers, but when the numbers and names don't ever match anything, it's even harder to manage. But good luck to them. In most types of hockey, you're actually not allowed to do it. You're required to have your surname across the back, which does make our lives, and the referees' lives for that matter, a lot easier. They need to know who's who just as much as we do. But be that as it may, this comp says you can have whatever you want on the back of your jersey, and so they have. I will never forgive them, but it's all good. Scene now gets the puck on a break. She's being pressed by Debbie Bowles, trying to force her wide. Gets a bit of a dribbler backhand, but at least it's towards the net, and that's what they need to do. We've had so far one shot on the net by the Quokkas and none by the Furies. As now shot goes high and wide by Annie Lauder. No, sorry. That was Jenna Mitchell, I'm sorry, who had that high wide shot on the break. But it's one of the most famous ice hockey players of all time will tell you, you've got to get shots on the net in order to score goals. If you spray them wide, you will at least make the goalie work. They don't have to be spectacular shots. They just have to be on the net, because if it's not on the net, it's definitely not going in. Scene gets a breakaway this time, but she's running into traffic, gets a shot as she's just tripped, and she plows head first into the net. Just make sure she's okay. She's pretty tough, that one. Gets up and off she goes. Just to clip the shoulder into Sam Hockey in the net for the Furies. And we will have yet another face-off. And the West Australians turn it into a shot on the net. Comes out to Storm, who fires it across. Beautiful cross-ice pass. A great opportunity there from Storm. Saw the vision of the loose player in the slot, but not quite able to convert it. Puck loops around the back for the West Australians, the Quokkas. And they don't quite clear the zone, but now they do. And Narelle Owen for the Furies manages to break it out, but didn't go very far, and she passes to the just slightly offside Hannah Everly, who was just trapped just a tiny little bit offside. In her defence, the line here at iceHQ needs a repaint. It's a bit hard to see. I doubt you can see it very clearly on the... In fact, it looks a lot clearer on the video than it is on the ice. So if you're looking at it and thinking, how could they get caught out by that? It's pretty simple. It's actually a bit hard to see. We are going to be doing a melt and repaint later this year, which will improve things. But this sheet now 4 years old, and so are the lines. So they need a touch up, and they'll be getting that for just a few months as the West Australians clear it across the net. Very risky option, but they get away with it. But they haven't got the puck out of the zone as the Furies try and get in. This now the puck comes out. This Bowles goes across to tidy it up safely off the boards, but straight to the West Australian, who again is offside but manages to avoid the puck, and they solve the problem. And now out it comes. Puck bouncing backwards and forwards over the blue line, but it's gone deep into the blue. Debbie Bowles tries to bring it around the back, but instead elects to switch directions and go back the way she came. Puck into the middle. Debbie again doing the job of clearing it out of the zone. And that goes up to Marie Stella, who's trying to put pressure on Scene, who comes in from a distance, tries to get a shot away, but ran into the Furies defence. I think the Furies probably need to do a little bit is when they do decide they're going to get the puck, they probably need to move towards it. They're doing a lot of standing and waiting for it, and one of the issues with that is your opponents aren't going to. And so if you stand and wait for the puck, you might have had time initially, but the time gets taken away. And a key facet of this game is putting your opponents under pressure and forcing them to make mistakes. We all make bad decisions under pressure, especially in the game of hockey. And if you can put your opponents under pressure by taking their time and space away from them, they make poor decisions and you're more likely to capitalise on them. Furies just clearing the puck out, winning the face-off. Puck leaves the zone for them, but it's dumped straight back in. Nice play there by the West Australian defence player. But, wall of blue playing around the back of the net. McNabb, she tries to clear the puck out, but succeeds only in bringing it halfway around the half boards. As the puck goes in, it bounces off the back of the net. McNabb again tries to clear it out. This time it comes up to the point, but not quite able to clear it out. Just a little bit of puck handling, and Sam Hockey a little bit lucky there. Puck bounced over everything, and then it bounced off, and then it bounced on, and then it bounced off the back of Sam and went into the net. Not much she could do about that one. The initial save was all right, but then it just bobbled backwards, and that gives the Quokkas 2 goals to the Furies none, with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first period of this last game of the evening. The last time the Quokkas played, they did let themselves down a little bit with changes. If they can get that a little bit more sorted, they'll do well. Kim Lowe now trying to do something constructive for the Furies, but runs into a bunch of traffic, and we end up with some indeterminate puck. And now it's a bit of a desperate clearance by the West Australian team. Bowles and Scene keep meeting up again. Bowles is a very capable and competent skater. She runs the cafe here at iceHQ. I can vouch for the chicken schnitzels. They're pretty good. And this time he gets a poke check across on the West Australian attack and manages to deny it. Sam Hockey making the save from a pressured shot. And the puck just cleared out of the zone for the Furies. There's Anna Chong now with a chance to get a shot away. Just a little bit of a dribbler, and it drifts wide of the net. The West Australians clear it out around the back of the net. And now they have numbers, but they choose not to use it particularly effectively. Harper there getting the puck tangled up in her feet. A bit of a board battle until it ends up in the feet of Denise Rink for the Furies, who puts it in deep, but the West Australians pick it up and carry it deep into the corner, looking to break it out once more. A bit of a collision in the ice between McNabb and Storm, which we'll see. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty or not. We haven't got a penalty for that. It's just a collision. I find as everyone gets more tired, they find it harder to stay on their feet. That's where it can get a little bit dangerous. Players start to dive for the puck and so forth, and that's a particularly dangerous thing that we're really trying to stamp out of the game if we can. There's only so many rules you can change. West Australians on the rush now. Nice poke check by Narelle Owen, but she gets beaten by the West Australian, and the puck just pops out. And Marie Stella with a chance to go deep into the corner. And she's got Shelley Jensen driving into the slot looking for a pass. So he just does a little backhand across the zone. It's a good option. And a backhand shot from Stella, but it ends up in no man's land. I guess in this game, every part of the rink is no man's land. It's a women's competition. So coming back along the side, and we have a little bit of a tangling of legs, but it doesn't look like there was any intent to it. And with 30 seconds to go in the first, we'll very shortly get the siren for the end of the period. These are 15-minute periods. Puck deep into the corner. Just the 15 seconds now to play in this period. Puck comes all the way out. The West Australians now with a chance for a last gasp goal. Little backhander, but Sam Hockey makes the save. Tries to pick the puck up. Doesn't really commit to it. A little bit of indecision and possibly a little bit fortunate there that in the end, no goal. And that concludes the first period. So at the end of the first, Pear Steele with the one goal. The other one must have been disallowed. For some reason I thought there was two. But anyway, Melbourne Furies 0 goals. The Quokkas 1. Goal scored by Pear Steele, assisted by Zoe Sutton. No penalties yet, which is always nice to see. They get their 1 minute break. And then we will start the second period very shortly. Again, for the Quokkas, this game has some meaning. Or rather some more meaning than it might otherwise have. If they get the win, they move up to second place on the ladder, which they would dearly love. That will give them a really good opportunity to win their way through to the grand final tomorrow evening. If they lose this game, they will finish fourth, and they will then be playing the Melbourne Reds again for the right to play in the grand final tomorrow afternoon. So they would like to win this one. Everyone likes to win every game, of course. We're all here as competitors. But there's a little bit more on the table for them. For the Furies, they're playing for pride. They'd like to win a game. They haven't won one through the program, and they would like to win one today if they can. They need the puck to bounce the right way, and they need to own that defensive zone. If they do that well, they give themselves a good chance. And if they can get some breakaways, then they can get some goals. Puck drops for the restart of the game. Second period underway now, 15 minutes to play. Seam now this time, she breaks through the middle, but she's picked off by Bales, and the puck bobbling around loose in the attacking zone for the West Australians. Puck still loose. Shot in by Simpson from the point. Bobbling around all over the place. Sam Hockey desperately trying to get a hand on the puck and finally manages to freeze it, and the referee blows the whistle to stop the game. Sam would be very, very tired. She's played now 4 games in 2 days and had to do a lot of work. The Furies have let a lot of chances go in on her, so she's had lots and lots of work to do. So she's got a lot of fatigue. I don't envy her at all. Picking those pads up and down over and over again is a very fatiguing thing. Most of these players not used to playing 4 games in 2 days. It is a huge ask of any hockey player. And as we know, when we get tired, decision making gets bad too. So as a goalie, your decision making is so critical. Furies managed to get the puck out through Karen Powell. But now the opposite situation underway as the West Australians And Jenna Mitchell will get a run. She skates in towards Sam Hockey, but Sam makes the save. Mitchell not quite able to put the puck away. She comes back to have another go, but Furies not quite able to clear the puck out, and they have to go back and do it all over again. But this time the shot sprays high over the top of the net for no harm whatsoever, and it bubbles out. There's going to be no icing call on this one, as the West Australian defender could well have touched the puck. They didn't, but they could have. And they play the puck around the back of the net. And this time, a little bit of neutral zone chaos as Steele does her best to get through the middle of it all. Owen passes it up the middle of the ice, and we have Denise Rink skating in to try and get it, but that was shot from behind the red line. And so you guessed it, we have another icing. Puck goes down the other end. 12 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second period of the final game tonight. The Quokkas 1 to the Furies. No goals so far. 2 shots on the net 6 for the Furies, 8 shots on the net for the Quokkas. And the Furies get a breakaway. They need to organise their changes too. Just a little bit of disorganisation on the bench. Now, Furies have a player sitting loose on the slot. It isn't being watched. Oh, now they've sorted it out. And the puck just manages to find its way in and stay in the zone. It's the Sarah McNabb for the Furies managing to own the space in front of the slot. And the 2 defensive players do a little switch. Now they have another loose player in the slot. But this time McNabb managing to get the puck away. Just dumped into the corner by Denise Rink. So one thing to carry the puck around, but we teach people a lot of the time to try and get what's known as having a shooting mentality. And what that means is if you've got the puck, you're getting close to that blue line, you're thinking I want to shoot it on the net, at almost all costs. Because if you do that, you give yourself a chance. And by the time the brain makes the connection to what your hands and feet are doing, if you've got any sort of speed up, you're usually at the point where you should be shooting anyway. If you leave it till you're in the shooting spot to think about shooting, it's too late. And you've overshot it and you're in the corner or not shooting at all, and the defensive players have taken the puck off you. The West Australians now chip it off the boards to break it out. Bowles has it down in the feet, keeps it in, but the second effort from the West Australians gets the puck out. And the lady's very tired. Sarah McNabb now with a little bit of a chance. She's got a one-on-one. A little dribbler goes across the front of the net for Madeline Smith just to poke into the corner. Madeline played an excellent game earlier today. Puck now on the stretch pass, across to the unmarked Ashley Cameron, who carries the puck in, but ineffective in the end. But the West Australians keep it in the zone still, with good board play by their defence. A little board battle now in the corner. Won this time by Narelle Owen, who elects to carry the puck around the back of the net, tries to clear it out, but it just goes to the half boards where it's fired in by the West Australians in Hannah Everly there, who managed to fire the puck in well. Sorry, that was Harper, 38. Sorry, Kate Harper was the one doing that, so it takes a little bit of time. It's my 6th game today too. My brain's gone to mush, I'm pretty tired. So my apologies for being a little bit slow with getting people's names. Narelle Owen flies it up the board, but West Australians fire it straight back in again, and it just rushes down into the corner. Pressure there from the Furies in the corner, trying very hard to make sure there's no easy puck. And now Hannah Everly bringing the puck up out of the defensive zone for the West Australians. And she's looking for an opportunity. She elects to carry the puck all the way, but runs into traffic, as is so often the case. You can carry the puck so far, but eventually you're going to run into defenders unless you've managed to get behind them. This time the puck goes all the way down, and she's got to go back and pick it up again, Hannah. But she picks the puck up. Let's give a little cross-ice pass, but gets away with it this time. And now it's in the capable hands of Jenna Mitchell on yet another attack. Gets around everyone, has a shot high on Sam Hockey, but it's gone in the net. And that is another one for You see this on the replay. She gets around the side. Nice shot from a distance, and I think that's gone. It's just trickled through Sam's pad. Sam's actually slid back into the net with the puck caught up in her pads, and she's carried it over herself. She'll be a little bit disappointed in that, but it happens. Goalies need to be goldfish. They've got to forget everything that happened before and refocus. It's a very challenging thing to do as a goaltender. You've got no escape. Players can come off and have a chat to the coach, but the goalies stuck out there on their own. And Sam's been out there on her own all day for 2 days in a row. And now this time the Furies with a little bit of a chance, but dispossessed was Denise. Puck stolen from her by Candice Maverick. Puck flings itself down the other end. There's no icing on the play. Furies win the race. Bring the puck up through the half boards. Clearance up the middle. To Candice Maverick again, looking for an option. She's carried it down in her own zone, but a good pass up to Scene. But Scene dispossessed by Bowles, and the puck goes all the way down the other end. No icing, it's a clear call as the Furies go around the back of the net looking for a wraparound or a pass into the slot. It doesn't happen this time. The puck tangled up in feet in that corner. Comes across the front of the net, but no blue jerseys there to do anything about it. It was all a sea of black and yellow. Shot in from the middle of the neutral zone. Not a bad option, but West Australians will bring it out with Maverick again, and she's looking for an option to pass up, and she makes a nice little pass up to Pia Steele, I think it is. Players diving all over the place, desperately trying to retrieve the puck, but in the end, Sam Hockey's safe glove makes no mistake, and she stops that one nicely. Nice catch by Sam. 2 goals the lead at the moment. The West Australian Ice Quokkas 2 to the Melbourne Furies none. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this second period of the final game for the evening, the final game of the regular rounds. Tomorrow is the finals of the CCM Women's Tournament. CCM's National Women's Tournament, I should say. There's been teams from all over the country. Off the half boards, the West Australians find space in the middle. Nice little backhander. And the puck fired around the back of the net. A little bit of time and space, but almost cleared out. But Sally Jensen not quite able to get her stick on the puck. And now Stella Marie manages to clear it up ice. And it's a little weird rolling puck. It looks almost like a lawn bowl as it rolled suggestively towards the net. Didn't quite make it, but it was going that way. And now we have a 2-on-1. Debbie Bowles isolated. Puck goes across to Harper, but Harper chooses not to pass it. Bowles turned inside out, but put plenty of pressure on the defence. And in the end, Debbie Bowles' defensive effort, fantastic play from her, managed to shut down a 2-on-1. And with that pressure, the shot not a good one. And Sam Hockey managing to make the save and save the bacon of the Melbourne Furies. 5 minutes to go in the second now. 5 minutes and 10 seconds once the time the puck is dropped. Quokkas with a 2-goal lead over the Furies, 14 shots to 2 as the face-off. Not really won by anyone there, it's tied up. But the West Australians come away with it out to their point. Big shot out from the distance. Sam Hockey just watches it go across the front of the net. And the puck still in the zone for the West Australians. Will they go the cheeky backhand? Oh, nice shot in from a distance, but straight into the glove of Sam Hockey, who makes yet another save. She's been busy so far, 14. That'll be the 15th shot on her. If you add them up over the weekend, it's going to be quite a few, especially we've got one more game to play tomorrow as well. West Australian stealing the puck there in Sampson. Managing to find themselves offside. The puck just got rimmed over the top of the bench there, and it goes deep down for an icing for the Furies. The puck will go all the way back to the other end for a restart of the game. 4 minutes to go. By the time the puck is dropped, it'll be about 3 minutes and 40. Just wait patiently for the referees to drop the puck. Down it goes, underway we are. Will the West Australians use their point? They do. They play it nicely back to the point, who brings it back into the half boards, shot across through the slot. But Furies there in numbers. A second effort though by the West Australians to try and put the puck across the net. Good defence by the Furies. They haven't been outclassed here. They've had a couple of breakaways and they've defended against them very well as well. So they've done pretty well. The West Australians have done better, but Furies can certainly be proud of what they've done thus far in this game. Nice little cross ice pass, finds Steele, who ends up being dispossessed of the puck, and it goes around the back of the net. Now McNabb trying to break the puck up the boards, looking for an option to pass to, but running low on choices. She elects to go herself, tries to go down the side of the boards past Brewer, and she gets a little trickly pass across the net, puts it across the front of the net for an option, and bouncing off everything, the puck still sitting on the ground loose, and finally, we're not sure if that's gone in or not. No goal. Madeline Smith there makes the save. A great opportunity there. Sarah McNabb going coast to coast, and wasn't the greatest shot, but it got pressure on and bounced off the pads, and as a result, there was lots of rebound opportunities. And if you make the opportunities, sooner or later, some of them go in. Puck comes across the front, Bowles beaten on a pinch. All of the Furies offside, but they come back. The puck in deep, no icing. West Australians racing in. They'd like to get another goal if they can with 2 minutes to go in the period. Looking for passing options was Harper, but nothing happened for her there. And Bowles plays it safely around the back of the net, rimming it across to the other side. But, puck now shot in behind the net, into the corner. Pass up to a pressured defensive player. Comes back into the corner, pass across the front to a totally unmarked West Australian player, Jenna Mitchell, but she wasn't able to capitalise on the opportunity. She was completely unmarked in the high slot. It was a great opportunity. But now the puck bobbles out of the zone. And Miller Sampson dumps it in deep again for the Ice Quokkas. And a little shot in, just bounces off either Sam's pad or a glove. I'm not quite sure which, but it doesn't really matter. It bounces off either way, went behind the net. And still stuck on a defensive press. The Quokkas, they'd love to get the puck out of here. Sorry, the Furies, they'd love to get the puck out of here if they could and get a bit of a breather. And they do eventually. The puck comes out. Shelley Jensen doing her best to get in the way. Steele fires the puck deep into the corner for a reset. 45 seconds now to play in the period. The Quokkas with a 2-goal lead. Looks reasonably safe for them to hold that. Puck rimmed around the boards. Beats almost everyone, but a big shot in from the point, but it hits bodies. Bodies get in the way. Bowles tries to use everything and clears the puck out of the zone, but it's back to Hannah Everly, who has a look around for options. Lifts the puck up high, but it's straight to Debbie Bowles, who chips it up off the board with 15 seconds now to play. Everly takes the puck around the back of the net. There's a forecheck on her. She turns to avoid. Forecheck still chasing, and she's forced to do a backhand, but it's up to Scene. Scene trying with a puck battle to get it out, and the battle winds up with the tooting of the end of the period horn. And at the end of the second, the Quokkas 2 to the Furies 0. 17 shots on the net for the Quokkas, 5 for the Furies. The Furies under a lot of defensive pressure. Sam Hockey with 15 saves so far for 17 shots on. And Madeline Smith with 5, including 1. Pretty decent chance for the Furies. It got underneath Maddie's legs, but she managed to sit on the puck and stop it going any further. So it's the old sit on the puck trick, which stops it. Goals so far in the first to Pia Steele, assisted by Zoe Sutton, and in the second, Jenna Mitchell, unassisted. The Furies occasionally, with some defensive lapses, letting players get a little bit loose in the slot, but they haven't really been terribly bad at it. They've improved a lot this game. I think they've been listening to their coach in Anthony Druk, who's doing a good job with them. We'll see how this third period pans out for the ladies. is their last 15 minutes of the night before we shut down, and we will be back tomorrow for the finals. If the Ice Quokkas can win it, they catapult themselves to second in the ladder and give themselves an easier run through the semi-finals tomorrow. If the Furies can claw it back, everything changes. But, the Ice Quokkas managed to take the puck from the face-off, win it up and get some pressure in the hands of Pia Steele. But she's lost the puck and off it goes with Lasness from the Furies, who puts the puck into the corner. But she's closely pressed by Miller Sampson, who takes the puck around back of the net, puts it back up to Steele, who not quite able to clear the puck. She's been closely pressed by Narelle Owen, but Lucy Wheels almost manages to get a shot away. Get the puck passed up through the middle of the neutral zone off the boards by the West Australians, and it's gone back and fetched by Candice Maverick, who plays around the back of the net and looks to bring it up the boards to break out for the Ice Quokkas. The puck still being battled for in the Quokkas net, and a shot on the net. Beautiful opportunity by the unmarked Karen Powell, who put herself in great position, was unmarked in the slot. Very nearly managed to get the shot away. But Madeline Smith up to the task and did a good job with that. Now Sarah McNabb goes back to tidy up the puck and clear it out of the zone. It just bounces over the top of everyone, and that gives Narelle Owen a chance on the breakaway. She's got one to beat in front of her. She goes to the corner, shoots across the front. A big opportunity, loose puck bobbling around, but it's swallowed up by Madeline Smith after Anna Lasness very nearly got that rebound. Shots and rebounds is how you score a lot of goals. And a good break by Narelle, and then Anna following that one in, but just not quite able to get the puck luck that they needed that time around. And with 13 minutes to go in the third, the Quokkas with a 2-0 lead over the Melbourne Furies. Puck deep in the corner, comes blasting across the front of the net. Nice option there by the Furies to get that shot on. The D pinches in on the blue line and gets away with it, but covered for the Furies. And through the neutral zone comes the West Australians. Debbie Bowles clears it out with strength. It's a nice move by Zoe Sutton, but she got just dispossessed. And the puck flings down to the other end to put the Furies into attack. But, a bit of a board foot puck stick battle going on by the side of right in front of the West Australians bench. And Sutton again now comes in, but she's covered by Bowles, who just loses her footing a little bit, but enough to push her wide. And around the back of the net comes the puck, and Debbie Bowles will go and tidy it up, looking to play it up the boards and clear it out if she can. But she blows a tyre. Still the puck down there somewhere. Sutton tries to get a shot away, but it's got nothing on it, just dribbles behind the net. And the attempted wrap around, not successful, but clearance up to the slot. But fortunately for the Furies, there's some bodies in the way. Bowles clearing it up, but only as far as Zucks. Bounces off the leg. That's why we wear all that padding. High shot in from Zucks goes across and in front of the net. Mostly harmless. As Harper now moving around and circling there, trying to cycle around and give herself some options. Ends up just running into the corner. Good defence by the Furies, but now she regains possession. Checked by Bowles, but the puck goes into the corner. Up to the point. Fierce shot in by Storm, but it misses everything. Bounces off the back of the boards. May well have left a dent in them, but it wasn't on the net. This time, the puck still stuck in the defensive end for the Furies. The West Australians with some great attacking options, but Sam Hockey made a good save to keep the puck out. Bale still trying to claw it out up the boards. She gets another chance to do it. Hits it high off the boards, and this time, no, still kept in by Storm, who fires from distance. Cheeky little rebound, but it bounces off everything, and Sam Hockey manages to stick a pad out and make the save as they manage to just prevent that last goal being scored. And finally, the Furies managed to clear the zone with a breakaway, but it The girls are all a bit too tired to go on with it, so they get the change that they've desperately needed. They've been stuck in a defensive press for a good couple of minutes. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go as Narelle Owen battles with Storm, trying to keep the puck out. And bounces off the chest guard of Sam Hockey safely for her. Defensive face-off for the Furies. Won by the Furies. They carry it through the front of the slot. Scene looks for an option for a shot, but Sam Hockey shuts the door. Puck comes up the half boards and is cleared out by Marie Stella, but covered up nicely by Kay Brewer, who flings the puck all the way around the other side and puts the Furies back deep into defence in the hands of Narelle Owen looking for an option, and didn't have much to pass to. Puck off to the half boards on the other side. And little board battle, but Scene has it now. She's looking for the option to pass across the front. Goes through the front. Attempted tip in by the West Australians, but it didn't go. Now more lateral movement by Jenna Mitchell. Puck ends up in the high slot, but still in the high slot, and it bounces backwards and forwards off a few pairs of feet. And the Furies clear the zone back to Brewer, who dumps it back in, but it's brought back out again and shoved back in again and all the way down into the corner for an icing on the Quokkas, and the puck will head down the other end. So with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third, the Quokkas 2, the Furies none. The Quokkas so far 20 shots on the net to 9 to the Furies. And this is the last game of the evening. The drop of the puck, it'll be around about 8 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Now the West Australians with a chance to break it down, break it up the middle. But a lot of pressure through the neutral zone by the Furies. They're doing well through there. West Australians caught offside. And that's Holman caught by Steele, not quite able to make it back out in time. It's hard to read that one. But that's hockey. You've got to be able to understand what's going on. It's no big deal. It's only a little face-off just outside the zone. Cost them an opportunity, but not a particularly good one. Puck goes deep into the corner. Bowles beaten by Steele, but now she goes in to tidy up and comes up to Sutton, who managed to keep the puck in. But Lucy Wheels dumps the puck out, and that gives the Melbourne team a little bit of a chance. Lucy tries to pop it in and does so. But, the puck beats everyone back out to Bowles, looking for options, passes across the neutral zone to Anna Ladsness, but puck flies straight back down the same path, and Bowles just says, no, I'm getting rid of this. Been down here for long enough, let's put it down the other end. There's Lucy Wheels, puts it in. Bowles now looking for an option to pass to, plays back to her D partner, who plays it up and across. Nice puck movement, which creates an opportunity for the Furies. Can they get a shot out of it? Or will the West Australians clear the zone? And they do. The West Australians get the puck out. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. 2 goals the lead to the Quokkas. The Furies yet to score. And now Karen Powell dumps it in deep. She passes up to Lucy Will, who's free in the slot. He gets a shot away. Not a lot on it, but she was totally unmarked there. But the West Australians now, Harper waiting for the pass. Would have been a good option, but the rebound and the shot and then the rebound from while you chase your rebounds. The first save the goalie will often make, but once it pops out on a rebound, it's very hard to stop. All we know about Storm is Storm. Unfortunately, you can't see her number. Her jersey's tucked up under her shorts. But that's how it works. You'll see it on the update on the scoring system in just a moment. But the Quokkas now 3 goals to the Furies none, with just over 5 minutes to go in the game. The Furies haven't ever really looked particularly dangerous, but they've had a couple of chances. Just haven't quite been able to capitalise on them. deep in the corner now for the West Australians. But, Owen tries now to break it out with some purpose, but runs into a forechecking body, and the puck pinned down. Harper manages to get the puck in for the Quokkas, but it's finally broken out by the Furies. And the goal was scored earlier by Hannah Everly, and she was unassisted with that shot and rebound. Puck bounces off Maverick, but everyone offside for the Quokkas. Puck goes back in deep again. Owen going in to dig it out for the Furies, looking for options. Nice little change of direction. She's looking for passing choice. There isn't one there for her. Tries to play it up the boards and eventually manages to get it high off the boards and get away, but it's just dumped down the other end. There won't be an icing on this one. Furies getting a change. West Australians, the Ice Quokkas, getting a change as well. But now, with a lot of time and space, is Kate Harper, and she comes in, dekes around, gets a shot away on Sam Hockey, and it's another goal. That's a beautiful goal by the captain of the Ice Quokkas. Just beat everything and everyone, that one. Kate Harper with beautiful play. And 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go on the clock. The Quokkas now out to a 4-0 lead. Harper with, it might be her first goal of the program, I'm not sure, I'd have to check. Seam comes through and gets around past Bowles. Bowles desperately trying to get down the middle with a poke check. Seen a little bit unlucky that Hockey managed to keep that one out, or maybe Hockey a little lucky she kept it out. Puck now on the half boards for the Quokkas. The Furies managed to break it out again. Just over 3 minutes now to play. The puck dropped in close to the attacking zone for the Furies, but it doesn't go anywhere. Nicely cleaned up by the Quokkas, who have a defence player just sitting there quite comfortably waiting for it. And we're going to have another 2-on-1 here, but caught offside. A little bit of frustration there by the West Australians, but that was that was pretty blatantly offside. Sayers was calling for it, and Mitchell was skating with it, and Sayers just stepped offside, to the frustration of all of them, I think. But they've got a decent lead. They shouldn't be too worried. With 2.5 minutes to play, they've got a 4-goal lead. Still trying to get that puck in. Sam Hockey manages to close it down, and on the drop of the puck this time, we'll be down to 2 minutes remaining with the Quokkas 4 goals, Furies 0. 27 shots now to the Quokkas, 9 shots for the Furies. They've had a couple of chances, none of them particularly good options. The goaltender Madeline Smith has had a great job, hasn't been particularly busy. The Quokkas win the face-off, putting the puck right across through the top of the slot, but they're not able to capitalise on it as the Furies clear it out up the boards, but it's only gone as far as Jenna Mitchell, who plays it around, but it's lost in to Lucy Wheels, who comes up through the middle of the slot zone area trying to get a shot away, but it's taken off her by Mitchell. Mitchell plays it back to her D partner, who plays it back up to Mitchell, who nice little wheel of the body, but it's taken away from her by Sarah McNabb. And a bouncy puck by Karen Powell, but it's not put anywhere as Owen fluffs on a clearance, and we have another chance for a West Australian who loses her footing. Owen having a bit of a tangle of legs. And with 1 minute to play, the Quokkas with that 4-goal lead. Comes up to Lucy, who tries to clear it up the boards, but it's only gone as far as Hannah Mitchell, who fires it into the head of Owen. But it's got a helmet on, that's what they're for. The puck cleared out. 45 seconds now to play. West Australians go all the way back down to their end to clear it, to rim the puck around the back of the net and bring it forward, see if can the Furies get a goal. Puck in the neutral zone, but well defended by Everly. And with 20 seconds now to play, Everly takes possession of the puck and looks to move up the boards. She's pressured by Chong. Gets it ridden out, but the puck bobbling in front of the net, and we've got 5 seconds now to play. Puck goes around behind the net, and this will be the last second of the game, and that winds it all up. So at the conclusion of the final game of the regular rounds, the West Australian Ice Quokkas with a 4-0 win over the Melbourne Furies. I will update you on the ladder just as soon as I can, but that puts the Ice Quokkas into second place on the ladder with 6 points. The Melbourne Reds finished first with 7 points. The Flaming Galahs are now third place with 5, and the Central Coast Stingrays fourth with 4 points. So tomorrow the Reds will play the Stingrays for one game to make it through to the grand final. The Galahs will play the Quokkas for the second chance to play for the second go in the grand final, and the Wolves will play the Furies in the consolation final as well. And all those games will take place tomorrow afternoon, starting at 1:30 p.m. for the semi-final. The second semi-final is at 2:35 p.m. The consolation game is at 3:40, and the grand final itself will be at 4:45 p.m. Melbourne Eastern Summer Time. So for those of you over in Perth, that will be 3 hours earlier for you. You can do the sums yourselves. And that winds up our evening here tonight. So thank you very much for being part of this live stream. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we will see you all tomorrow.